Hi, welcome to the latest installment of Whiteboard Monthly. My name is Tom Grabill, and I'm the Transition Ministry Catalyst for Luminex Group. And over the next 5 months, I want to help you appreciate the importance of the transition process during pastoral vacancy. Now, when we refer to this as a transition process instead of an interim process, we are talking about an intentional 5-phase approach to helping churches prepare for a new season of church life with the least amount of disruption as possible. Today, we begin with phase 1. Providing stability. Transition ministers have a unique opportunity to steady the plane when a congregation is experiencing turbulence caused by the departure of a pastor. Now imagine you're flying on an airplane for the first time in a while and suddenly experiencing turbulence. The unsteady, rocking motion the plane takes is unsettling, frightening, and may even cause you sickness to your stomach. You may start to question whether you will safely land at your destination. The thought of getting off the plane, although impossible, and going somewhere else runs through your mind. Then the captain speaks over the intercom system and assures you that this is normal. Everything's going to be okay. He has the plane under control and smooth flying will resume shortly. Suddenly you relax, endure the discomfort, and resume dreaming about your destination. This is what it is like for most pastoral transitions. The congregation has celebrated the previous pastor's last day, sent him or her off well, and then realized that they don't have a pastor to lead them. While some will stay hoping to endure the turbulence and ambiguity, others will attend another church in the area that is not in transition, one that has a seasoned pastor at the helm because it is more comfortable. And whether or not they return after a pastor is hired is uncertain and unlikely. A church that has made the decision to hire a specialized transition minister offers consolation and security to the congregation as well as the community that all will be okay. They have not been left to navigate these turbulent skies alone, and more stable winds are not far away. Even though the specialized transition minister is a complete stranger, there's a comfort in knowing someone with experience and an intentional plan is at the helm. In the first few months of a transitional period, the specialized transition minister's assignment is to connect with people, build trust, and learn the lay of the land. By engaging in regular rhythms of church life, he or she is able to determine the nature and makeup of the church. As they attend staff meetings, participate in leadership meetings, meet with small groups, and schedule one-to-one contacts, they interact with many people who will help them learn more about the church. They are curious about who each person is, how they came to the church, and why they stay at the church. They listen for stories that highlight a vibrant past, as well as stories that identify challenges to the present and the future. Furthermore, they want to know how each person is responding to the loss of the previous pastor, so they can understand the level of grief the body is experiencing. By preaching at weekly services and interviewing congregants, the participating body comes to know and trust the transition minister. As the emotional climate of the church settles, people are more likely to stay believing the present turbulence will subside and calmer skies are on the horizon. The steady the plane phase of the transitional experience is a strategic onboarding process that helps the specialized transition minister quickly get up to speed on processes, establish trusting connections, and capture a bigger picture of immediate needs. At the same time, it allows the congregation to quickly build a meaningful relationship with the specialized transition minister, an experience that will give him or her the right to be heard when promoting change for the sake of greater spiritual vitality. When a pastor leaves a church, a variety of emotions are felt. The intensity of the grief response depends on how long the pastor has been with the church, the way a pastor left, peacefully or painfully, and how connected people were to the pastor and his or her family. A stabilizing period is important and necessary to allow members to process these emotions, lament the loss, and celebrate the past before they can move into the next season of church life. As Judith Forst writes, when we think of loss through death of people we love. But loss is far more encompassing theme in our life, for we lose not only through death, but also by leaving and being left, by changing and letting go and moving on. While some may be eager to skip this stage, start up the search team, and get a new pastor as quickly as possible, rushing this process will leave many beloved people behind, stir up strong resistance to change, and prompt other members to leave. People don't resist change, rather they resist loss. The steady presence of a specialized transition minister flying the plane, normalizing these emotions and giving people space to grieve will produce the courage to stay the course, trust the leadership, and eagerly anticipate a new pastor coming in the future. Significant attention is given to church staff and ordained leaders so as to minimize additional turnover. These heroes working on the front lines of ministry have experienced a significant interruption in the course of their weekly rhythms. A pastor's transition away from the church means the loss of cohesion to an overarching vision, of the one who has worn the flak jacket, oftentimes protecting staff members from the voice of criticism that comes along because things weren't done the way someone preferred them to be done, and the one who championed their departments from the pulpit each week in worship. A specialized transition minister becomes a stabilizing personality that allows momentum to continue on in the transition. While staff members can and often volunteer their services to carry out tasks over and above their job descriptions in times of transition, this takes a toll on the quality of the ministries entrusted to them, the lay leaders serving in their areas, and the participants who come to learn and grow. Elders and deacons might also be asked to assume additional responsibilities during a pastoral vacancy, to the detriment of the quality of the other expectations and assignments asked of them. While the specialized transition minister does not replace the role and authority of the lead pastor, they work with staff and leaders to identify ministry needs that result from the departure of the lead pastor and creatively fill the gaps so effective ministry can continue. One creative response to filling the gaps also often includes identifying and equipping other lay leaders to take on certain roles, helping them to live into the way God designed and called them to serve His church. The specialized transition minister's consistent presence in the staff room and the boardroom provides a level of assurance that decisions will be made decently and in good order. Oftentimes, the community is also well aware of transitions that take place in churches. By word of mouth or overhearing things in a conversation, outsiders learn about and formulate impressions about those that are without their seasoned pastor. If they might be looking to attend a new church, they might think twice about attending the one in transition. The specialized transition minister provides the community with reassurance that things are in order while the church discovers its next steps. As an experienced pilot, flying a plane through turbulent weather offers comfort to anxious passengers. So a specialized transition minister provides a sense of well-being to a congregation and community in the midst of a pastoral transition. They are specially attuned to the needs of a people experiencing change and loss so as to be able to set a reasonable and healthy space and pace for adapting to change. This ministry engagement stage can take 2 to 3 months to complete. Thank you for tuning in to this installment of Whiteboard Monthly on church transitions. It is never too early to begin to prepare for the inevitable. Let's begin the conversation by giving me a shout. My contact information is below or can be found on our website. Just go to www.luminexgroup.org.